Hi, how's it going, girl world? So we're gonna finally talk about trees and mythologies. For some reason, I always want to paint and draw trees. You can see that's a new one I painted. I used these from my mother's garden, but I'm just gonna show you. Like, almost all my paintings have a tree. Mountainous. Oh, tie dye. Oh, cool tree. I used the leaf as well. This one was a leaf. Oh, guess what? A bird with a tree. Like, oh, you know what? Look, more trees. But there's a bunny. And it's shiny. Oh, look at this. So this one is, a painting that was already, like, pressed there. But I tried. And look, more trees. This was a paint night before everything shut down. But look, more trees. Like, I just love painting trees, and there's something with it, okay? I don't know. But we're going to talk about, like, I'm going to say, I went on YouTube, and I looked up some mythologies on trees, and trees in history, and I'm going to tell you what, my usual spiel. Go on their channel, check it out, check their web, all of it, watch their ads, like their video, because they'll give you more onto it. I'm just summing it up. So I'm going to do kind of makeup look. Okay, so I watched this person who do SMARs before I go to bed. They're called ASMRplant, and she had like a very light natural makeup look, but with color. And I'm like goom on like my area, but I want to try it out. It's very like simplistic to me. And we're going to play with some makeup. But first, we're going to talk about all this. So, see you in history, mythology. All of these have picture visual as well. So, heads up, if you want to check out their videos, go for it, like their ads. Subscribe to them, do all works, give them some dough. But I love, like, just watching it and then summing it up for you guys. So, see you in history, mythology, Norse mythology. They call it Gagadaskal. Yggrasil. You can look that up. They talk about they have a great tree that is connected by root all through all of their realms. And they say if you eat or if you use their leaves, so if you eat their food, it will heal you. And if you use their leaves, it will bring you back to life or bring someone you care about back to life. That's like straight up, straightforward. That's their only thing they have about trees, next to like mints and stuff. And we're going to get to that in a little bit. So there's mystery history. They talk about actual real trees that you can go see. They talk about a jumbo petrified trunk. They call it the Devil's Tower. A lot of townspeople there argue about if it's a stump, if it's not, what it is. But I believe it's a stump. It looks like it. It even has tree rings. So maybe that's the tree that connected all the realms. Because, I personally believe that all our history is connected as one. Like, everyone knows about Jesus who saved your sins. Like, everybody. And that was after all the gods. So think about that. All of them. Look it up. Okay? You can YouTube it. And I'll show you throughout history. That's crazy. But maybe this is the tree. Because a lot of people don't get that. Maybe they knew about this part of the ocean the whole time. Because it's in history. We just don't like to talk about it. So, back to this. So, they have proof that if these trees grew, they would be like over 425,000 feet, 100,000 feet if it was the devil's tree. But you can watch their channel. It's in Dakota, if I said that wrong. Dakota. And they have like a whole bunch of petrified trees there. So, and they're huge. They're not tiny little trunks like you'd see in your backyard. I mean, it's like bigger than your house. Ooh. I don't know how to say Octism's stories. Octagram stories. I will leave it all down below. Not the stories, but at least the channel. They talk about Drgad. I call them tree spirits. I call them nymphs. That's a great way to describe them. They talk about how they are connected with their tree. The origin of them as well. You could be a spirit who gets attached to it, or you could be born with this tree, like a true nymph. That's what I would say. They classify them as different levels of them as well. They're mainly known to be like connected to giants, like as children or as or just living in the forest with them, and they're just friends and they like work together for safety. But lots of gods and people, like kings and just everyday people, would take trees from these forests and plant them in their orchard so they could be with their loved ones. Loved ones, you know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much about nymphs, and they talk about it in the Norse mythology as well. Um, so I don't know the Aswang production, Aswang. They talk about Kapre. That's Kapre. They're tree dwellers. Their actually mythology was oriented from there. So whatever this creature is, always been there. Before they even migrated there, or like even the tribes who lived there the longest, they talk about he smells like cigarettes, like any kind tobacco, or they call him cigar smokes as well. He's dark hair and dark skin, and he could be good or bad. That's how they describe him in the Philippines. They said that they saw tall black spirits, so I would say, and the people said, unless this is how they described like meeting people from Africa and over the seas for slavery, what they just truly say is that they describe that could have been just meeting of people, but it could have been, you know, tall blacks, you know, the spirit realm, the tall grays, whatever you want to call them, you know. It could be any of those, but they said these people, the black spirits they call them, been there forever as well, but they're not the same as Kapari. I think it's Kapari. Kapari? I'm saying it. I'm pretty sure it's Kapari. Kapre. Yeah, they have stories about him saving little girls, helping families protect their homes. Spirits actually make alliances with families to protect their home. They call them tree dwellers. I call them, they have to be spirits, but it's like a male nymph. That's what it really describes. But Kapre, they kind of describe him as like a fallen angel. He fallen from heaven. He dwells there. He lives there. And you're living on his land. That's how they kind of describe him. You got to watch that one. That one I suggest big time. I'll leave a star beside it because I'm really intrigued by that. And then, of course, we're going to talk about Bible. So the biblical signs of trees. So, of course, they have a channel. They actually give you timelines. Like Matthew, blah, blah, blah. I'm not giving you that. But if you want all that, you can watch the Bible channel. It's called Bible Symbols Trees. So, of course, they discuss Adam and Eve, the tree of life, how they ate the apple and it got stuck in his throat and she ate it and she got knowledge of life. All of that, okay? So, in the Bible, we're going to start with some makeup because it's very straightforward. They discuss, no, we'll do my eyes first quick. So they actually discuss the fact that we, how they describe people as trees or buildings. So they talk about the house of Beth, and that was discussed as a plum tree. They discuss people as olives throughout the Bible and everything like that. So I suggest you guys to check out their channel. So what I think is that, like, the main... No, I'm not going to put any of that on. The main thing is we're going to go in some e.l.f. We're going to be using the contour. But right now I'm going to go in with this peach kind down here and see how it goes. So yeah, they discuss them as like people, like, oh, Bobby Jim, so I'm doing my makeup look from ASMRplant. I'm gonna leave her name down below too. This is very not what I want. Do I have to press it in more? No, hers was a little more oranger. I think it's this palette. I have... I'll just go in with this. So we're going to go in with this one from Dose of Color, because it'll definitely do the color I want. But I might have to mix those up and put them on to make it the same. So yeah, I personally have an obsession with trees. That's what I really want to come down to it. I really do. I love sitting outside under a tree. It's like I was a tree. Maybe I was. But I personally think that there's a lot to it. Like in Japan, they talk about the peach tree and the peach tree of life. You know? We're going to just put a little of it down here. Because it was very simplistic. Alright. So, because I have a feeling the purple in here is not going to give me my justification of shininess, I'm going to go in with Galaxy Chic. And I'm going to go in with this really light purple, and I'm going to just put it across the bottom. But I'm going to use like a thin flat brush. This is what she did. And I'm like, it's so simplistic. And because I don't do the inner eye. She does the inner eye. I don't do the inner eye. Like, it's such a nice, natural look. And it's cute. So, what do you guys think about trees? What are you guys thinking about all what I said about these trees? Do you think there's an actual bigger meaning about these trees? I think there is. People are like, oh, trees are not that important. Yes, they are. Maybe they did help us make us. That's what the Norse believe. You know what I want to do? Just for fun. Because we all know I want to be shinier. We're going to drape. There's an orange in here. Across it a little bit. Oh yeah, that's giving me the vibe. Because I swear hers was more orange, but these weren't going on that orange. But this is stunning. Man, I got red eye. The joy of sleeping with my eyes open. Alright. Now we're going to go in with some liners. Little Annabelle. So, yeah, back to the trees. The trees. What are you guys thinking? You guys gotta talk to me in the comments someday. But I personally think that if the trees mean people, like symbols of people, like what they want them to sorry, the liner makes me shut up. Alright, I suck on one side today compared to the other. That's goals. Alright, that looks cool. Going with some e.l.f. lengthening volume mascara. So, I think that trees are not always symbols of people. I think the trees are actually like meant to help you nourish yourself, and some fruits and vegetables and everything like that helps you with like, you know, I don't mind this. Is it my favorite? No. Is it Lily Lashes? Hells no. But does it do the job? Correctamundo. Sorry, the little lashes I gotta look into. So, what are you guys thinking? I think I need to stop thinking. I think I'm thinking too much about trees. And it's weird. And then what comes to my head is all the conspiracies of the guys with the trees and the suitcases. Oh yeah. I've never even touched base on that. So, the legendary story, we'll talk about it in this too, of Dayman and Nightman. So Dayman and Nightman is a story. They pretty much describe him as like a twin. And Dayman was good, and he would help you out. And Nightman was bad. And so there's many stories, but there's the most common one is like if you play the game, Dayman and Nightman. So pretty much is, I'm going to just leave everything I use down below. So the story of Dayman and Nightman. There we go. Pretty much sums up to like a Cain and Abel spirit kind of thing. You know, the bibliological story. So you play Dayman and Nightman, and your goal is like you gotta not stay in one spot. That's like the Shadow Man, all of them. But the thing is that he's actually originally, your original goal is to make a deal with him. Like you would, you know, with the demons. We're going to go in with some of this today. Oh, poopsicles. I didn't put on any primer. We're going to put on some e.l.f. blemish. Blemish, blemish, blemish. So, yeah. So, Dayman and Nightman. Look them up. Sometimes they'll call them, it's pretty much known across the world, Dayman and Nightman. And people are like, no. I'm like, yes, you guys. They're like, it's pretty much, I feel like I put too much. Probably. I'm gonna have to beauty blender these beasts. Yeah, I put way too much on. Way too much on. Way too much on. Alright. So, yeah. There's so many of these, like, mythological stories about demons and goblins and Day and Nightman. But Day and Nightman actually, supposedly, what people remember the most about them is that when you have your documents or anything from them, or when they talk about, people will talk about, what's it called? I can't even think straight. I can't. They'll talk about the men in suits. So people like the men in black. So when you hear stories about the men in black, they'll have a suitcase or a briefcase that is that they carry, and it actually has a picture of a tree on it. So what comes to my head is the fact that, like, there's these men out there who are part of an supposedly government conspiracy to hush hush shit. That's what these guys are. But they carry around the tree of life. Like, I draw it. Like, if you watch anything like reenactments, they're carrying around the tree of life. So, I want to put on liquid highlighter, so I think I should put it on now before I put on everything else. And it's Iconic London. I barely use this, so, and I think I should use my fingers. Rub it up, put on this brow bone. Oh, this is pretty. So, have you guys ever talked to the Men in Black? That is a good question. I haven't. I realized these are spots I highlight, and I'm like, maybe I'll put them on now. And I'll dull it down with. I feel like there's a hair. So, yeah, you guys let me know about the Men in Black. I'm going to finish up this do and just get her done. So what I'm going in with is, with my wand, with some Fit Me by Maybelline. Just to do I have my sponge? I have so much foundation on, I realize. So, let's just... I don't always use the sponge, but when I do. Alright, so I'm going to go in with another Sailor Moon wand. And I'm going to do some bronzer from here. This is from the same e.l.f. palette that I was trying to use, but this is the part I like. I'm going in with a Movie and just rubbing it in. So, I think there's more to this tree. I think there could be a great tree or something the government's keeping hush-hush. Trees are more important on this earth than people to keep it vibrant. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how is the oxygen coming from the ocean helping us move in trees? I don't know. But, do you believe in tree spirits? That is a good point too. That's what a nymph is. I do. All the way. Like, who doesn't want to believe in a tree nymph? So with the same brush, I'm going to go in with this pretty bright pink, and then maybe with this little lesser pink beside it. Ooh. That pink is everything. Look at that. Oh yeah. So yeah, I think tree beards, the whole works. Because you know what? There's a lot of forests even here in Canada we've never been in. Like really, think about it, you guys. We've never been in a lot of these forests. You know? Let's dull it down with a little brighter pink. And do the same thing with the other side. I'm going to tap in both. And brush across my mouth. There we go. Give it, I went in with, tapped in both, and then I went in with this orange. And then, because I want this to be brighter, I'm going to go in with this banana powder looking color. And just rub it a little underneath the eyes. A little here. A little here, because I like that braiding. And a little on my head, because I looked a little sun-kissed. Put a little on the cheeks to dull it down, because the other pink didn't do it. I look rosy. I look a little crispy today. Maybe I could put a little bronzer on it top. Yeah, it helps a little bit. So, let's put on a lip, I think. Yeah, let's go for it. Oh. Disappointing. This is such a pretty color. Ooh yeah, like a vampiric red. From Wet n Wild, what color is this? Dark wine. This looks cute with this look. So, this is my look. This is my awkward eye. This is my good eye. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely night. Enjoy life. Smile always. And get in tune with your mythology. Think about these trees more. And have a great one. Bye.